Hello everyone, welcome back to GeekDisorder's web series over HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, and jQuery. This is Lavik and I'll be walking you through this series. Okay, today we're going to be going over linear gradient when it comes to backgrounds. So with CSS3 we have a couple of new ways we can work with backgrounds, and these being gradients. Alright, so what is a linear gradient? Well, a linear gradient is when your background can change like colors at a certain percent of the background. Also, these colors can slant degrees and so on. So the best way to understand what I'm talking about is just to take a look at it. So first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to create a div in my HTML5 document here. Go ahead and close that. I'm going to give the div a ID, and I'm just going to call this ex1 for example 1. Alright, so up here I am going to target my ID, and there we go. So we got a hashtag or the number symbol, whichever one you want to call it, and then I'm going to put ex1, open and close my curly braces. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the height and width of my of my div with this ID. So I've got my height, okay, and I'm going to set that, let's say, to 150 pixels. Alright, and my width, I'm going to set that to say 300 pixels. There we go. Alright, okay, so with linear gradients, there is a few things you'll want to know. Some older versions of web browsers don't support them. So when doing this, you always want to have a backup, and you can leave it as default, which is the default background of your web page. If I run this right now, you can see we just have a white background. That would be your default. But if you don't want that white background, say you want another background, you can always put background dash color, and I can set this to like blue. Okay. All right, and then if I save and launch this in Firefox, there we go. There's our div with the ID of example 1, ex1. Alright, so we have that. So I'm going to leave that background color there, and you'll see what happens. To do a linear gradient, what you do is you do background, okay, dash image, okay, alright, colon. And then from there, okay, you put linear dash gradient, okay, and then open and close parentheses and my semicolon. Now we're going to fill out this parentheses here with a couple of different things. You basically you have a direction. It's your first option. This can be a degrees, or you can use some keywords, and I'm going to show you both, but I'm going to start off with degrees. Alright, so I can put 45, actually let's go with 90 degrees, and there we go. So just like that, we have 90, oh sorry, no S, 90 degrees. Now we're going to put a comma and space. When we put a comma and space, the next option is color and at what percent we want it to start, okay, or we want the color to be at. So we pick our color, and I'm just going to use keywords. Of course, you can use many of your other color options. So I'm going to do red, and then I do space, and I tell it a percent. I'm going to do just 50%. Okay, so we got 50%, and now I'm going to do comma, because you have to have at least two colors with percents. So I've got 50% right here, and my next color is going to be yellow, and I'm going to do that at, say, 75%. Now let's save this and let's launch this in Firefox. Alright, and there we go. You see that yellow right here, there's the 75%, and you can see it kind of bleeds over, but you can tell exactly where yellow becomes like the only color there. And from 75% on, it's yellow. Red, I did put 50%, but you notice that it starts at the beginning and goes all the way until 75. The reason being is it's going to take your first color and start from 0% and go to wherever the next color starts. So if you want another color in there, like I could come over here and I could add blue, and I could have it start at start at 0%. There we go. And a space in there and save. Alright, there we go. And you can see blue starts at 0. Okay, and then it starts to bleed into red. Here's 50%. And then red starts to slowly bleed into yellow until 75%, and then yellow takes over again. So if I want to come in here and I want to add a color, say gray at 25%, okay, I can add that in. There we go. You can see there's gray at 25, red, yellow. So this is kind of a gradient. And the 90 degrees, okay, if you look, everything is the lines where the main colors are, that gray's here, blue's here, where it's pure whatever color we specify, it's not bleeding into the ones on either side. All those are straight up and down. They're vertical. If you think about 90 degrees, a 90 degree angle is a right angle, and if the bottom right here, and this is another leg of the angle, another side of the angle, that would make 90 degrees. So if we come over and we change this to something like 45, you will see that they change also. Okay, there we go. Everything's at 45 degree angles. Alright, and if you notice, everything kind of leaned to the left when we did 45. If we do negative 45, we can reverse that. Alright, and there's tons of stuff you can do. Degree wise, 190. So you can kind of play with it, and with the angles and such, and get whatever you like. Okay, I'm gonna put this. Oops, sorry. Actually, let's go with let's go with 90 degrees. There we go. So this is what we have at the moment. All right, I'm gonna switch back over. I'm gonna add another div. I'm gonna copy this one. All right, I'm gonna add me another one here. This one though, the ID is gonna be set to example 2 ex2. All right, and then I'm gonna copy this. Alright, and I'm going to change this to ex2 so it affects that. I'm going to save, and these are both the same at the moment. So, and they're right up next to each other, so it's going to look like one element. Okay, let's see, I can fix that. What I'll do is I'll just put a horizontal bar in here, and launch in Firefox, and there you go. It kind of puts a split between them. That's what we want. Alright, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to leave everything the same except for the degrees. And I'm going to show you some keywords you can use. You can use stuff like to left or to right. And if I put in to left, save and run this, you can see it's exactly the opposite of the top one. You can think of it this way. To left means it's coming from the right to the left. If I change this to right, save, and launch in Firefox, it'll be exactly the same as the one above. Okay, there's to top. As you can see, it's coming from the bottom to the top, and up here for this one I can put 80 degrees. Launch in Firefox. Okay, they're opposite, and to change that I can put to bottom. Save. Launch in Firefox again, and there you go. So it's kind of up to you. You can use the to left, to top, or anything along to bottom, anything along that lines, or you can use degrees. Personally, I like using degrees. It gives you much more control over how everything works. Okay, well this has been, and one other thing, almost forgot. The way I showed you is the way the CSS3 standard once it is finalized. Most major browsers have already adapted to this. Some older versions have have not. And I am going to link to Mozilla again for the linear gradients. Okay, well this has been Lavic. If y'all have any questions, please comment, ask, and I will try to clear them up. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all do like our content, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see y'all next time.